stress me. I write down my problems, then record it just for therapy.
It's Madden NFL 24, and the question is, are you ready for some football? It's the Tennessee Titans and the New Orleans Saints, and it's all up next.
From a city that's played host to 10 Super Bowls, here's a look inside the Superdome in New Orleans. Straight ahead, we've got a pretty good one on tap here, as it'll be the Tennessee Titans taking on the New Orleans Saints. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Well, Charles, September is here. The 2023 season just about to get started. So many storylines to pay attention to. What are you most keeping an eye on as the start of the season moves closer?
Well, partner, I'm glad you asked, because we're going to start, obviously, Aaron Rodgers and the Jets. That's a huge story. How about Kansas City? Could they win their third title in 5 years? We know some teams are trying to get there. Buffalo, Cincinnati, Philadelphia, San Francisco, all should contend. And how about some of those sleeper teams? I think the Chargers of Pittsburgh in the AFC, Carolina, Detroit in the NFC. It's going to be an exciting season.
Get strapped in. It's just about time to get the party started. And we are underway from the Superdome. And they will elect to not bring this one out, as our first drive will begin at the 25. So here come the Saints to take over for the first time. And here's the new man under center after 9 seasons as a Raider. Derek Carr is the guy.
It's going to take some time to adjust to seeing Carr running out in a new uniform instead of black and silver. It's black and gold. 35,000 yards and over 200 touchdowns with the Raiders. The Saints more than willing to let him air it out all game long to a talented group of pass catchers in the Big Easy.
In his 7th season now, here's Alvin Kamara. And a hard-earned yard there as he ran through one would-be tackler. It's second down.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. Carr to throw on second down. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete, but the contact is going to move the ball well downfield. Well, obviously, they never want to see penalties on that defense, but this one a little bit more significant there on the downfield pass play.
And coaches preach it all the time. You can't put yourself in that kind of position if you're the defender. You've got to stay in a spot far downfield where you can play the ball without creating extra contact.
Now Carr, I will see more than trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. They'll pound it up the middle with Kamara. And Powell running here down to the 6-yard line.
Holding offense.
So not a lineman, but the tight end instead this time, drawing the holding call.
And more what you're getting with tight ends are guys who are much more receiver than blocker. They may be willing, but that might not be their thing. Oftentimes, they'll be the ones getting the penalties.
Here's Carr now going to fake the jet sweep and throw off play action. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that one to the right side and incomplete. 4th down now as the Titans defense holds up in coverage.
Smart move to throw that one away. You're in field goal range, so you definitely don't want to be loose with the ball. And that's great work by this defense to force a 4th down.
So Carr will exit stage right, and on is Lutz for the Saints field goal. It's a 39-yard attempt, right hash. The kick by Lutz is good, and the Saints are going to take a 3-0 lead. So the big return had them fired up, but in the end, the offense stalls out. They only muster 3.
Yeah, the excitement was there after the return, but they didn't move the ball at all after that. They didn't even get a 1st down.
And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. And the Titans ready to take over on offense for the first time. And it is the now 35-year-old Ryan Tannehill who leads them out in his 12th NFL campaign.
Those who expected Ryan Tannehill to go quietly into the night after the Titans drafted Will Levis, well, they clearly don't know this man well at all. He's a fighter and former comeback player of the year, and expects to have his best season yet as a pro in this campaign.
Tannehill and the Titans come up now 1st and 10 at their own 21. The NFL's leading rusher in 2019 and 2020, Derrick Henry. And that's just a solid, good physical run there as he motors for 9 yards.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
Ball on the 30 now. Here's 2nd and a yard. Again, it's Henry. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a 1st down, pick it up, and keep moving.
A 1st down carry for Henry. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 40-yard line.
They'll come up on a 2nd and 4 now from the 40-yard line. They'll try the air now with Tannehill. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Well, that's not the way you want to start. A first pass attempt and a first drop all in one.
Well, you've got plenty of time to make up for it, but obviously not the way you want to get things started. Got to shake that off and get going.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Back to throw, Tannehill. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. That's a 1st down pickup for Tennessee on a gain of 10.
I don't care how many times we say it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Meanwhile, Tannehill's throw here into the hands of Moore. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down. We got to like what you're seeing from this offense here on the first drive. A nice, sustained series to begin the game. It will continue after picking up another first there.
Would you say the word methodical comes to mind? I love the execution. I love what they're doing on this drive. They're controlling the ball, controlling the game, controlling the clock.
Taken down by Pete Werner. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
To throw is Tannehill. That's complete to Traylon Burks. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints 21. 17 yards on that play for the Titans.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
On first down, Tannehill. And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
This early in the game, it's all about making steady progress downfield, hoping to lead to early points. And you can do it with your actual play calls or sometimes something a little more improvised, as we just saw there.
They'll try and run for it with Henry. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. That gets him 3 yards closer here as it brings up second and goal.
That's good power football on first and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on second and goal. Now Tannehill. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
It hasn't been a real good start to this game from a defensive perspective, but now after the incompletion on second down, things may be changing. If they can come up with one more play, they might be able to get out of it with just a field goal attempt.
The crowd here in the Dome making things difficult. Third and goal. Now Tannehill. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
Badgley's kick is good, and that will tie us at 3-3. So a return of serve, so to speak, here on the second drive of our game as they respond to that opening field goal with 3 of their own.
I like that. Go a little tennis on me,
I know you like to mix it up with sports.
They crack a forehand back out, and they get a backhand. What was the serve? What was the return on?
It was a backhand.
I like that.
A really good backhand.
It's a nice top spin on the whole thing. I love it. Almost a mirror image when you really get down to it. I thought that was pretty good stuff.
Each team with a possession, each team with a field goal as the kick is away. On the return, here's Rashid Shaheed. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. New Orleans Saints, they get ready to set up shop for their second drive. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. The throw on the quick slant going to be complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. First down. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The Saints first down there on a gain of 11. Derek Carr, very precise thrower of the football. What's the game plan for going up against him? It used to be take away the short stuff, I know, but he's more than a dink and dunker, right?
And you are right about that. Great analysis of him because he has evolved as a thrower. Now he can push the ball downfield, but still, the number one things you want to take away, Short passes, intermediate passes. So sharp, precise, and accurate, you've got to sit on those routes in order to cause him problems.
This is 2nd and 8. Now Carr again. Back to Kamara for another catch. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 24-yard line. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
A great job there, and that old cliche, take it what the defense gives you, comes right into play. Nothing too out of the ordinary about the throw. Just a little dump off over the middle. But what is out of the ordinary is what he did with it after the catch. Not only did he grab the ball, but how about the significant yardage he picked up after he pulled it in.
Carr now on first down. And this one too low.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He gives it left side to Johnson. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
7th play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. Throwing now is Carr. He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield. And the Saints are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
And that could be one of those turning point plays in a ball game. A field goal gets you the lead here, but they want to make a statement and get 6 points. And they're certainly going to get that opportunity as they get the conversion and set up 1st and goal.
To throw, it's Carr. Alvin Kamara wheeling it in on back-to-back plays. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. It'll go as a loss on the play. Not what you need down here. It's going to be 2nd and goal.
And that's a great job of tackling right there. If he could have made the first man miss, maybe he could have taken it into the end zone. Instead, they stopped him pretty well right in his tracks. And you often see that in the red zone. Offense has to be quick. In this case, the defense was quicker.
And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Working from the gun, it's Carr. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. 4th down now as the Titans defense holds up in coverage. Another good drive, Charles, but it looks like another that might end in a field goal try.
They've made some nice plays. They've given themselves opportunities, but as you noted, another field goal attempt coming up. And that's not how they want to end drives. They've got to figure out what's the final touch that they need to push it across the goal line.
And still yet to find the end zone. So we're trading first-half field goals. No breakthrough on the touchdown front. We've got a 6-3 game.
Yeah, and I know so many people look at a game through offensive eyes, right? They want to see how the game's played that way. You know how I'm going to view it, right? The defenses, to me, have responded well in this game. Like what I'm seeing from them, both of them hoping to keep it to field goals and not give up big touchdowns.
So all field goals so far, 6-3 our score as the kick is away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line, so bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision, loses him about 4 yards. The Titans coming back onto the field for their 2nd drive. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gas.
Yeah, a little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting upfield and giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense.
Wreaking havoc was Nathan Shepard, the D tackle.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
Here's Tannehill now on 2nd down. Looking for Hopkins, and he's got him on the crossing route. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
That's a good bounce-back play right there after taking a sack on 1st down. Didn't quite get it to the marker, but now they're in a much better spot for a 3rd and short yardage call. If you're the offensive coordinator, you like looking at that section a heck of a lot better than trying to figure out 3rd and long.
3rd and 2, Tannehill. And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
Well, that's absolutely going to fire this defense up. They made it their mission to deny that completion, and they came through with a nice hit and knocked it incomplete.
Now on 4th down, here's Ryan Stonehouse to punt for Tennessee. That's taken on the 25. 43-yard punt, but they get 9 back on the return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. The New Orleans offense back out and ready to go. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize, like going to the county fair. You don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Now a timeout here, at least for the moment. Looks like one of the Saints is injured, shaken up on that last play. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Now Carr. Pitch and catch to Moreau, the tight end. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. His first catch, good for 14 there and a 1st down.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. As long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Carr. And his throw is incomplete.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they're in a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw here. Downfield, and he's got 11. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. That one goes for 30 yards.
Well, my dad would say sometimes, I'm just scratching my head here trying to figure out what was going on there defensively. How did you lose him in the middle of the field? If you're going to lose a receiver, make sure it's someone on the short side of things, not deep downfield, that can hurt your defense.
Now they send a man in motion right. Kamara is into the end zone for a Saints touchdown.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet, or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
Lutt's good on the extra point, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. Tennessee offense set to go again. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Tannehill and the Titans come up now 1st and 10 at the 20. He'll start with a give to Henry. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. It was Cameron Jordan who came in and got him.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Second down, they go again with Henry. Trying to keep those big legs churning, but he's going to go down in the backfield. 1 yard is the loss. They back up even further to a 3rd and 15.
This size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Now it's Tannehill. He'll fire deep, looking for more. And guy's man complete. It's a big play there for Tennessee. 44 yards.
Seems like all the fireworks in this first quarter have been on the other sideline, but here they're saying, hey, we've got some explosive guys on our side too. And that's a big play in a game that's looking like it might be full of big plays.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Tannehill going to turn and give this to Henry. There he goes left side. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20.
Holding offense.
So that time they get the tight end on the hold.
Normally he's a pretty good run blocker, but this time he just didn't get his arms extended and let go quickly enough. The flag came out as a result.
After the penalty, it's Henry. And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. It's a gain of 3, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, obviously they would have at least liked to have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. Instead, now they're dealing with 2nd and long.
I thought they would have passed it after the penalty. Probably wish they would have now. Henry again on 2nd down. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. A shotgun snap for Tannehill. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
They really had a good drive going there, but a nice recovery by the defense these past few downs, able to knock that one away on 3rd down and bring up what I think for the offense, an unexpected 4th down here.
On fourth down, Ryan Stonehouse on to punt. And this one goes angling out of bounds, and it will be spotted inside the 30-yard line. And now the Saints get set to trot out there. And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. Maybe not many people were focused on the trenches. There was good protection there.
Excellent protection. So now defensively, you've almost got to get down to those starters blocks like you're a sprinter. Get lower than those guys on offense and find a way to roar through them or around them to get into the face of the passer.
Easier said than done, though.
Way easier said than done. But they've got to try something because right now they're just cutting them to shreds.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports. Ready for the second quarter from New Orleans. It's the Saints in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Carr. Olave over the middle. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. From the 44-yard line, here's 2nd and 2. Pitch and catch to Moreau, the tight end. 2nd catch for him today, and they'll wind up a 1st down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Carr to throw again. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's 2nd down. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's really a difficult task.
Shotgun now for Carr. And he taken in by Shaheed. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 22-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards.
Boy, everything clicking on this drive. He's 4 for 4 now, and that throw, maybe the best of the bunch. This offense is really humming, and they pick up another 1st down.
On play action, now Carr. Catch made, it's Moreau. A strong broken tackle on that one. And then they get him to the ground just shy of the 15. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Nice play call, a little bit of play action right there. If you can get those linebackers to freeze for just a split second, that's usually all the room you need in order to get it to your tight end.
To throw his Carr. The pass caught by Olave. And the Saints are going to have a 1st and goal as he's taken down at about the 8-yard line. Try to pound it in, Kamara. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Alvin Kamara with his 2nd touchdown here in this 1st half. And his guy's now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. So his strong first half continues as he finds the end zone here for the second time.
And definitely good blocking at the point of attack, and you just have to love watching the way he can create space down near the goal line, and he's able to take it into the end zone.
Lutz with the extra point, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. The ball up right. 5. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And a short pickup to about the 27. It'll be second down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
To throw on second down is Tannehill. This will go to Henry out wide. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And now we've got a 3rd and 3.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there, because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay game.
And he will not get there as they stop him short right around the 34-yard line. Here's Ryan Stonehouse now as he's on to punt for Tennessee. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Saints will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Carr going to lead the Saints up here 1st and 10 at their own 15. He'll start with a give to Kamara. Oh, what a move. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. 63 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half. Thought they were going to have him down a lot earlier, but he was able to shed that tackle.
Shows the value of the weight room, doesn't it? Shows the value of the attitude when you run the football. Don't go down easily. Break a few tackles. Gain some additional yardage.
Carr's throw caught by Olave. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. Another big play here as they strike for 31.
This offense is looking very comfortable here in this first half. Very relaxed, very smooth, very efficient. No wasted motions. Things are definitely going their way, and they continue to move the ball downfield.
So a big play as it gets them all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. Into the red zone, it's Carr. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. They'll set up a throw. That is caught by Olave. Touchdown, New Orleans. A 20-yard touchdown. And the Saints are able to widen their lead here in this first half.
Without a doubt, the fade route is tough to stop if your wide receiver and quarterback are on the same page and the ball is placed in the proper spot.
Lutz to try to end the PAT. And the lead is now 24. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it was Chris Olave who finished things off with a touchdown. The ball upright on the tee, and this stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Here's Tennessee ready to begin this drive offensively. They trail here by 24 points. Got to get going soon, you'd have to think, as they come up 1st and 10. They begin with Henry. That's to about the 28. 2nd down coming up.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Ball on the 28-yard line. Here's 2nd and 6. Tannehill now to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles. And that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
So 3rd and long after the sack. Tough task for Tannehill and the Titans. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He's going to find his receiver, Chris Moore. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A real letdown defensively. That was 3rd and a bundle, but they allow the conversion.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on 3rd down, that they would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and a 1st down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
Now a 2nd and 10. Here's Tannehill. A short throw taken in by Okonkwo. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. His first catch, good for 14 there and a 1st down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Tannehill. That's to the sideline and incomplete.
It certainly looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
2nd and 10. Henry up the middle. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
The Titans on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 7. Here's Tannehill. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. Tannehill able to take off and pick up the first as well.
Certainly not a positive sign if you're the D coordinator and you see your guys give up that space so early in the game. Third down, that's when the clamps are supposed to come out. But his ability to create things with his legs makes things difficult.
Running left, it's Henry. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Play action, it's Tannehill. Oh, it's intercepted. A drive killer there. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And the Saints are going to get the football here as he gets this up past the 20-yard line. Boy, we've seen a lot of mistakes here in this first half, and another there on the interception.
Yeah, they're certainly starting to pile up, aren't they? Because, let's face it, we expect a miscue here and there, but they're already down 3 scores and still giving the ball away. If they want to get back into this one, they've got to take care of the ball because right now the way they're playing doesn't say a whole lot for their chances.
Alvin Kamara and the Saints set to start their next drive. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. Meanwhile, Carr's throw complete there to Johnson. The result, only 4 yards there on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Now Carr. He gets it to Thomas, and he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
Yeah, great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. The tackle there by Ben Neiman.
If you're a coach, you'll absolutely take that run every time on first down because it really sets you up to go in a number of directions here on second.
Kamara gets it again on 2nd down. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. Carr going to throw. He's got his running back out of the backfield. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. The Saints first down there on a gain of 11.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
From midfield, here's Carr. Here's Johnson with a reception. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
I'd have to say they're feeling like they are in rhythm right now. Things are in sync, aren't they? Team's winning, got a nice little margin on the scoreboard, completing some passes, and they just completed another one for a first down there to the tight end.
On first down, Carr. Again, it's Johnson. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Given back-to-back catches now. That one for 16 and another first down.
This is where you can try and get a tight end in space. They like this matchup, so they're going to let their two receivers to his outside run simple little short routes, hoping to suck up the secondary. And that'll free up space for their tight end on a corner route to make a big play.
On the check down, he finds Kamara. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. And that's good for a gain of 6, and that's going to bring up second down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
3rd and 3. Carr now to throw. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
And based on my math, they've only converted 1 time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. 3rd downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
Now, the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. Working from the gun, it's Carr. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Foster Moreau from 3 yards out. And the Saints' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points.
You got to figure down by the goal line. This is where a tight end earns his money in the high traffic area. And he's able to work free in the middle of the end zone and grabs that one for a touchdown.
Lutz will look to add the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it ends with a touchdown for New Orleans. The ball upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, and some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes and get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you've got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
Tannehill throwing the out route incomplete. It's Hopkins. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Now Tannehill. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
It's going to be another frustrating end to a drive here. This offense, they've not been able to get anything going in this first half. And now it's going to be time to gather on the sidelines and try and figure out what's going wrong. Who has an idea? Who has a plan? Time to implement it.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And a fair catch called for and made at the 12-yard line. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. There's really no reason to change what they've been doing to this point. They've got the lead. They've looked good this first half.
I agree with you totally, and a lot of coordinators, play callers feel exactly the same way. Until you stop what I'm doing, why should I make any changes? But there are a few that kind of outguess themselves or try to outguess the opponent, and they try to consider what they would do to take things away and go to those plays right away. It'll be fun to watch when they get to the second half to see which way they go.
Yeah, but to this point, it certainly hasn't been broke. We'll see if they try to fix anything. From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. Here's Carr to throw. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a second and about a foot. He's having a big game through the air, and sometimes those smart decisions just dump it off. That's how you continue to have big games through the air.
I agree totally. That's a great analogy, a great way to put it, because he doesn't get too greedy where everything has to be pushed downfield, trying to create big plays that aren't there. You dump it off and take that nice gain, and things add up, and now you have the kind of game he's having.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete.
Good defensive call right there because they had someone shadowing him along his entire route. And he was right there ready to provide a hit that prevents him from adding another catch to his big start.
Carr to throw again. And unable to connect. If he had caught it, it would have been a first down. Instead, it's fourth.
That might be the third down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
Blake Gillikin on to punt now on fourth down. And he'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. The Titans offense going to get one final possession in this first half. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
19 seconds showing to play in the half as they come up here 1st and 10. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcoming everyone to our downtown Orlando studios in this EA Sports Halftime Report. We saw a strong first half from the veteran quarterback, Derek Carr. He's over 300 yards passing already as he's looking to possibly put his name in the record book.
All right, Coach, thank you very much as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
Keep our poise.
The Titans going to get the ball to start the second half, and they trail here as we get back to it on EA Sports. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The Titans getting set to go here to begin the third quarter. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history, and that's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in second and long yardage.
Here's Tannehill now on second down. And the catch made by Hopkins. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. Here's Tannehill. And that incomplete, nearly intercepted. And remember, he had his hands on one earlier, had one pick. It could have been his second, but instead it's 4th down.
I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. The call for a fair catch, and it's made at about the 23-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football because they got the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in. The obvious thing people would say is just keep attacking, but I think you also have to be smart about it. Avoid turnovers. That's about the only thing that can derail you at this point. Attack, but make sure you take care of the ball.
Carr. He completes it to Olave. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. That one goes for 24 yards. The partner is still in the third quarter, but they've got this one well in hand and still airing it out with gusto and picking up some nice gains.
And even in lopsided games like this.
Now Mike Vrabel unsure of that last call. He's going to throw out the red flag.
Previous play is under review.
Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call.
After review of the play, ruling on the field stands.
So the challenge there does not go their way. This will indeed remain a completed pass. Kamara up the middle. And he's up over midfield and down into Tennessee territory. 77 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Good, strong run against the 3-4 set. And that 3-4, you've got to have your guys up front eat up a lot of blocks. The guy playing over the center, the nose, he usually has to take on double teams. But when you're able to successfully move him, you're often able to get some yardage. And that's when linebackers have to clean up and make tackles.
Now it's Kamara in the passing game. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up. Heck of a play there to get to him quickly and get him down for a loss.
I think they did a really nice job getting ready for this game, scouting, watching film, and understanding defensively what the play design was.
Throwing his car on third down. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They've let these receivers run wild, and here's another completion for good yardage.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Throwing now is Carr. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
They had their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Back to throw again. And his throw here is incomplete.
But plain and simple, that's the 2nd time today that he's dropped a pass.
And that one, I think, maybe even a little easier than the earlier one that he dropped. Surprising.
Was this game announced as a night game prior to, and maybe his rhythm is just off? He's got thrown off. He's going to have to wake up, enjoy the sunshine, and go play.
From the gun now on 3rd down, Carr. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
And that's a crusher right there. Had his man open for a 1st down, threw a fastball when that wasn't necessary. Incomplete pass. When are these quarterbacks going to learn? You don't get extra points for how hard you throw the football.
A 53-yard attempt.
The kick by Lutz is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So tack on 3 more, though this, it's just a rare drive where they did not find the end zone.
Yeah, you're right about that, partner. But at this point, I don't think you're too concerned about that. You just want to possess the football for a while and drain the clock. If you can get 3 out of it, that's great too.
Here's Tennessee ready to begin this drive offensively. Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it 1 more time, so make sure you get in shape.
And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
Now, that's a play to applaud because these RPOs, things happen so quickly. And that ball's out of the quarterback's hands fast. He read it and reacted and was there to hit him as the ball arrived at the receiver. Big-time read, big-time play.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. The offense and Alvin Kamara heading back onto the field. He's toppled the century mark already receiving the football, closing in on that on the ground, too. They've really had trouble handling him.
I think from what we've seen in this game, his success through the air has started to open things up for him on the ground because now he's loosened up the defense, right? They've got to play just about every snap as if another receiver can get downfield on them, and he's been that receiver. Now they bring him back to the backfield. I think his yardage running the ball will increase as this one goes on.
Well, they might need to devote some extra attention to him, something just to stop the momentum he has. So the completion gets him just a yard, and that'll make it 2nd down. Now Carr. Now throw right side here, going to be incomplete.
And that's the knowledge he gained from being in this league for a long time. He's learned the hard way when to give up and fight another down. And that's a smart move to throw it away.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. To throw, it's Carr. And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up.
Yeah, that's a nice job there defensively to blanket those receivers on 3rd down. And as a quarterback, all you can do is just loft one toward the bench. Not too close, mind you, and live to punt the football.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And the fair catch is made at about the 27-yard line. The Titans offense now, they get ready to do battle again here.
See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
Demario Davis there on the stop.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
From the 32-yard line now, here's 2nd and 5.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Tannehill. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Jalen Smith coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
Now the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Well, this is just a continuation of what we saw in the first half. So much for the fresh start to begin the 3rd quarter. Still off-target throws, no rhythm throwing the football, and obviously no touchdown scored in this game.
Here's Ryan Stonehouse now as he's on to punt for Tennessee. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Alvin Kamara and the Saints set to start their next drive. He is hoping to find the end zone for a 3rd time, and we sit now in the 3rd quarter.
And nothing would excite him more, but I think even more so, his offensive line. Anytime you've got a guy scoring that many times, that means you've done a really nice job in front of him.
You're always giving props to the big fellas up front.
It's always a good idea. Those are some massive men.
Carr going to lead the Saints up here 1st and 10.
At their own 28-yard line. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara gets past one man. The ball is out. Kamara fumbled it. And it looks like one of the DBs has it. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. But he has been a workhorse for them in this game, and ball security hasn't been an issue until that point.
Yeah, and let's face it, when he's going to carry the ball that many times, he becomes more and more of a target for the defense, knowing that he's going to be the primary guy. They'll just send more and more players towards him, trying to make sure they knock the ball free.
They'll try and get the run game going. This is Henry. Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30.
60 yards rushing for him now as he's done it on 19 carries.
Another powerful run and another workhorse season in the books for Henry. Let's take a peek at his numbers. He's led the NFL in carries and topped 1,500 yards for the 3rd time in 4 years. In addition, 5th straight year with double-digit touchdowns.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Tannehill with a play fake to Henry. He'll throw instead.
It's complete to Hopkins. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down to about the 21 or 22. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Now it's Tannehill. That's complete once again to Hopkins. And he will have a Titans first down. He needed 5. He got it barely, as it will officially go down as a gain of 5 yards.
But with the score where it is, you're not thinking field goals right now. You need touchdowns. So that was a much-needed conversion there on 3rd down.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Tannehill. Got a man, and it's taken in for a Titans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins, a 16-yard touchdown. And the Titans are able to cut into that deficit. And in the red zone, I guess this is why you have a guy like that on your roster.
Without a doubt, and if you have him, you use him, because he's a guy who's going to win just about every time. I don't care what the coverage is.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And the lead drops from 34 down to 27. There's the Titan kick team as they run up and send this one away.
From his end zone, here's Rashid Shaheed. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25.
The offense and Alvin Kamara heading back onto the field. We've seen him be good so far. He's hoping to continue that trend here in quarter number 3.
And typically when you see guys running it this well, they see the game in slow motion, don't they? They see the cuts happen. They see the blocks happen. They feel really good about their vision. And then they use their legs to find that open space.
And he's had some good help up front to boot. Carr now on 1st down. Over the middle, into the hands of Michael Thomas. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
Now those backups on the sideline, they got to be eagerly anticipating the 4th quarter upcoming. Look at the size of the lead, how they're moving the football. This defense really struggling and giving up plays like we just saw.
Yeah, his Stars have certainly done all they've needed to in this one, haven't they? But my question is, will he be able to resist the urge to continue to run things up a bit and get his main guys a few bonus stats before he calls them off the field?
89 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
On play action, it's Carr.
He lets it go deep for Olave.
This is caught inside the 15. A big-time play there for New Orleans. 43 yards.
Everything's been going right here in this one. This offense, they've been in complete control from the outset. And here's another big play. These kind of routes have been open all game long, and they continue to take advantage.
The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. To throw his Carr. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5. So a decent gain there, but not their 4th consecutive first down like they had on the first 3 plays.
You sound almost disappointed there. You want to fire the offensive coordinator on that one or what?
They'd gotten into a rhythm. I thought they were just going to keep going.
Well, almost a win for the defense, but if that's your win, you're not doing very well right now.
And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a third time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
3rd and goal as they look to pour some more salt in the wound. Williams. Well, Williams is going to be stopped short of the yellow line. He did not get there. This defense not budging. Back-to-back carries of just 2 yards. Defense didn't budge on 3rd down. Now what are we going to see on 4th?
We are soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what?
Oh,
right?
yeah.
This is an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on offense. I would go for it. And I want some type of a play where my quarterback has a chance to run it or throw it. I don't just want one static play.
They'll go for it. It's Carr. That is caught by Olave. Touchdown, New Orleans. 3rd touchdown pass now for Derek Carr. And the Saints are pouring it on. Well, that's just how they drew it up, CD. His first read was there, got it to him quickly, and into the end zone.
Absolutely excellent execution by all involved. And the coordinator, got to give him credit, found the perfect play call. Quarterback let it fly as soon as the target came free, and his guy made a nice catch. Just how you draw it up in practice and then execute it in the game.
Lutz good on the extra point, and the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he returns this to the 22. DeAndre Hopkins and the rest of the offense heading back onto the field. Previous series, definitely a focal point. 3 catches, the touchdown grab. As a DB, or former DB, is there a number of catches on a drive you're like, oh, he got the best of us?
I'm not sure there's a number, but there's a great feel. And what he did on the last drive, yeah.
Especially with a touchdown.
Yes.
You're never happy.
You're exactly right. The way he capped it off, so you feel that at the sideline, and now you're looking at your buddies and saying, okay, what are we going to do to take things away from him? Because I'm not sure the other guys can make those sort of plays. So let's make sure that we don't let him get going again. Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
2nd down, they go again with Henry. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
I think if we put together a job description for a middle linebacker, we would start with being able to hold down things in the middle of the line of scrimmage and be able to take on blockers. But how about the guys who can go sideline to sideline and make plays?
Love a guy that can do that. We saw a perfect example of it right there. They'll try to run for the first with Henry. And he appears to be about 2 feet short on 3rd and 3. Leaves him with a 4th and 1.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
Here's Ryan Stonehouse now as he's on to punt for Tennessee. And a fair catch called for and made just outside the 15-yard line. Derek Carr getting ready to go again on offense. He really continues to pick apart this defense. Last drive, perfect, and it culminated in his 3rd touchdown pass.
As long as we've been doing this, how many times has a player in this type of a zone described the game as really slowed down?
Yep.
So right now, instead of warp speed, it's
snail's pace.
Oh, snail's pace for him, and he can do whatever he wants. Feels like he has all the time in the world to throw the ball, and his offensive line has been giving him that.
Carr's throw caught by Olave. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31.
What a game he's having. They've not been able to stop him or even slow him down. He's got 2 touchdowns already. That could have been a third. He's got the secondary coach asking people for answers. Can you help me out? Because we are not slowing him down.
The big play has him all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. Now Carr. Open man left side. Shaheed has it. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Here's a 2nd and 5. They'll pound it up the middle with Kamara. They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on 2nd down.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
From the gun, it's Carr. Room to maneuver at the 35. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 31-yard line. And they'll get 14 yards out of it and a fresh set of downs.
Well, a lot of times when you get a manageable 3rd down situation like this, you have to think about your tight end, and he comes through for him, picking up the 1st down.
A man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Kamara again. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara, 31 yards. And the Saints continue to pour it on. They go up by 40 now. Boy, another score. This lead gets even bigger. And, Charles, we haven't even hit the 4th quarter yet.
Well, forget the deficit, right? They're really not going to cut into that a heck of a lot. But how can they get out of here with some dignity? Can they get a stop or 2? Can they make a play on offense themselves? Anything to start to feel better about what's happened to them here in this one.
Lutz with the extra point, and the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. And the Titans getting set to go. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. Tannehill and the Titans come up now 1st and 10 at their own 23. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. To the right side, and he's got more complete. So the completion good for 6 yards, and that will bring up 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 29-yard line.
They'll try the right side with Henry. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here, 3rd and 5.
2 things to watch. First, his strength and being able to break out that initial contact. But at his size, once you slow his momentum, it's hard for him to get it started again and end up tackling him behind the line of scrimmage.
Tannehill. This will go to Henry out wide. And this will not be enough. On 3rd and 5, he only gets 3.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. but how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a fourth down?
Here's Ryan Stonehouse now as he's on to punt for Tennessee. Taking it about the 16. 51 yards on the punt there. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The focus goes back to Chris Olave, the Saints offense. And now he's inching closer to a 200-yard game. He's been so solid.
And he's really denting the pride of the guys playing defense, too, because there's certain barriers that you just don't want to give up. You never want to give up a 100-yard rusher, a 100-yard receiver. He's closing in on 200 yards. Wow, that's a really big game.
Throwing on 1st down is Carr. Johnson with a completion over the middle. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
On 1st and 10, here's Carr. His throw incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the 3rd quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
Glad to be in the great city of New Orleans, rolling along here in the 3rd quarter, 2nd and 10. Carr going to throw. And that is caught downfield by Thomas. And he's going to be pushed out of bounds inside the 10-yard line. A big-time play there for New Orleans. 57 yards.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, only they were all this easy because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
Now Carr again. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. A give. This is Kamara. And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3. They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's 3rd and goal. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here live in New Orleans. From the 3 now, here they come on 3rd and goal. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided. And he is going to go down back at the 11-yard line. A nightmare on 3rd and goal. He's sacked and multiple players broke through the line to get him.
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was a strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
So Carr will exit stage right and on his Lutz for the Saints field goal from 28 yards out. The kick by Lutz is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
Let's go now, let's go. Gotta have it, baby. We gotta have it.
The ball upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away. Taking it about the 1. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Titans now just about ready to take over. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Now a first down throw, Tannehill. He dumps it off for Henry. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it's second down.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Tannehill's throw is on target to Burks.
Down the numbers. There he goes. A big play there on the catch and run. 57 yards.
All came together for the offense on that one. A short throw that turned into a nice pickup. Big-time yardage downfield, and as a defender, against that type of a route, you'd better take the proper angles. Otherwise, that's the end result. You give up a big chunk of yardage to the offense.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see.
That's to Burks, and he's got it. Touchdown, Tennessee.
An 11-yard touchdown.
And the Titans get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this fourth quarter deficit. And CD, they just haven't had a whole lot to cheer about here, but it may be cliche, but give them credit for this. They've continued to fight and scratch and claw, and they get the touchdown here in the fourth quarter.
And I'm okay with that cliche, all right? Maybe it'll alleviate the sting a little bit because at least they can look in the mirror and realize they fought all the way through. Horrible game for them, not one they'll want to remember, but at least they'll keep their heads up and have some pride when they leave this stadium.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
On the return, here's Shaheed.
Fights forward at the 20.
And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line.
Alvin Kamara and the Saints set to start their next drive. And really a lot of guys you could highlight on this offense with how well they've played, but he's one of them. He's been spectacular so far.
I'd say he'd be the number one, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Because it's not just the numbers. It's, as you said, I think you said focal point. Well, that's what he's been, and that means he's created other opportunities because they've had to bring the defense to him. He's run it really well. He's caught it out of the backfield. They're trying to stop him. That means there are chances for the rest of the guys to do damage themselves.
They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they got it going today.
And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A first down there on a pickup of 25. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people have pointed out to me, this is a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to...
Pressure comes, and the Titans able to bring him down. He'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's third down.
Partner, the Mike linebacker, the middle linebacker has so many different responsibilities. How excited do you think he was to get home with that blitz?
Yeah, he wants a sack. He got it. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Kamara trying the right side. And now off to the races down the right side. And he will finally be taken down at the Titans 30. A real letdown defensively. That was third and a bundle. But they allow the conversion.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
First and 10 at the 19-yard line.
So here's a first and 10 now down inside the 20.
Now a handoff. Here's Kamara. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play there. Second down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Here's second and 10.
They run it again with Kamara. And nowhere for him to go again. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
On third down, here's Kamara. And they're going to get him down shy of the first at about the 13-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain, and it leaves them looking at a fourth down.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
So Carr will exit stage right, and on his Lutz for the Saints field goal.
From the right hash, and this one just a chipping. The kick by Lutz is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19.
Out come the Titans now.
Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnelled. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
On second down, here's Tannehill. toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. On first down, it's Tannehill. It's complete. Burks. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
And we've seen him have success earlier on with the ball in his hands because he is a get it in space and make a play kind of a receiver. But that time, they closed on him quickly and held him to a short gain.
From the 33, here's second down and 5.
Now Tannehill. Buying time to his left. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs.
Well, it certainly appears to me that the defensive guys are starting to look a little bit tired while he still has some fresh legs. Not the biggest gain we've seen on a scramble, but still some positive yardage on a play that initially looked like a sure win for the defense.
Tannehill on first down. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down.
I like how he hung in there and went through his progressions, but eventually his internal clock went off and told him it was time to make a run for it, and he ends up sliding down with a solid gain.
Here's Tannehill. He's going to find his receiver, Chris Moore. That'll put him at 96 yards receiving now for the game, and he's got a first down as well.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. On first and 10, Tannehill.
And that one's going to be off target and incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here in this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
So after the incompletion on first, now second and 10. Out of the gun, Tannehill. And he's got the hook up to Moore. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
It's a gain of 6. And it's 3rd down.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down.
Tannehill.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
I think this is what this game's become now. Just go deep, see if we can get something to go our way.
Yeah, not the most creative or most inventive play call there, but not much has worked for them throughout this game. They're almost at a loss about what to dial up.
And that is no good. And they will remain well behind.
And this is a commentary on today's kickers and just how good they are that a coach would think about running his guy out there to try a 59-yarder. Here it backfires on him, but as a kicker, you have to appreciate the confidence that they showed in you.
Here comes Michael Thomas and the rest of the Saints offense. He's north of 150 yards in this game. He's been doing his thing, hasn't he?
That he has, and he's been enjoying himself. And it's the type of game that you get locked into a pretty good groove. May not be record-shattering, but it's the type of game that if you accumulate that throughout a season, you're going to be one of the top receivers in the game.
See how much they incorporate him here on this drive. They begin on the ground with Kamara, and he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Second down, and it's Kamara again. And a good push up front, and he's able to navigate his way down inside the 30.
That good for 19 and a first down.
And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
The time is called. Looks like a member of the Titans in some discomfort out there. Now, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Now they'll throw with Carr. Olave over the middle. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 18. 12 yards that time for number 12 as they move the chains.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the fourth, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Shotgun now for Carr.
A quick throw there is incomplete. Well, up big here in the fourth quarter, up really big. That pass and incompletion, I don't think they needed the completion, but, Charles, this is an offense right now that they're just having fun. They're clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't need a completion. They certainly don't need any more points, but they're not going to turn them down. They're going to continue to run what they have in their playbook, and they still want to run it efficiently.
Finding Johnson on the out route. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. It goes as a gain of 9, and it moves the chains. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Try to pound it in, Kamara. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Alvin Kamara taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Saints add 6 more to their point total, and they're on cruise control right now here in the fourth.
Sometimes you get a first and goal and you're back near the 7, 8, 9 yard line and you start thinking, maybe we'll run it here on first down to get half of what we need, so maybe we can have 2 or 3 shots at going for it from closer range. So this is a bonus right here. What a great run to work his way into the end zone.
64, Titans 17.
The ball yard line just across the 25. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field.
And the way their last drive ended, boy, it was frustrating. They had a pretty good drive going. It was sustained, and then it stalled out, Charles, and they missed the field goal and got nothing out of it.
Is that insult to injury? Because they had such a sustained drive, as you noted. So you know for the head coach, it almost felt like a little bit of failure to send out the field goal unit and then to not even see the ball go through the post. What a bummer on that last drive for them. Got to pick themselves up from that one.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
A short throw taken in by Okonkwo.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
Throwing on 3rd down, Tannehill.
short throw taken in by Okonkwo.
Just a gain of a couple there. And it'll be fourth down.
Yeah, that one was covered pretty well because they were trying to leak the tight end out into the flat. I think they were hoping he could catch and turn upfield and pick up the first down.
Here's Ryan Stonehouse now
as he's on to punt for Tennessee. Fielded at the 20. They'll call it a punt of 44 yards. The return was for 7. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense.
I'm just wondering, do they want to add on to this gigantic lead? My guess, given how they like to play and how explosive this offense is, Charles, that they're not content being up by this margin. They probably want more.
And if they do go and get more, oh, look out. At that point, let's just aim the camera for the post-game handshake because that one might be a little bit on the tense side, the way that this one is turning out.
And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
I think we all suspected that they were going back to him after he found the end zone on his last carry, and they kept the positive momentum going there. Another nice run by him.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Saints football as we get you reset.
And from the 34, here's 2nd and 4.
Again, it's Kamara.
And good running there as he'll take this all the way up to midfield.
It'll be a Saints first down on a gain of 16 yards.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
On second down, Kamara. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. Well, fans usually love to see scoring, and there was no shortage of it today. What a dominant showing from an offense that was truly playing at an elite level in this contest.
Partner, this game was over a long time ago, and you noticed they did not want to slow down anything. Absolutely a dream scenario for everyone on that offense, and they took advantage of every second. Guaranteed popcorn for everyone in their film session.
So that'll